Carbon Knights Gaming Channel Supreme.
Welcome back, Knights. Today we're going to be taking a look at probably the most important dungeon to be farming for the most important runes that you will most likely be using on your account, and that is going to be dragons. So dragons are going to give you those super important violent runes, get you those extra turns. Now, in a free-to-play aspect, in a starter account, I'll show you a team that works fairly often, probably 80-90%, with runes that I have on them, and it's all free to play. There is fusible monsters, and that's pretty much it. Fusible and 3-star, I think, are what we were using here. Oh, and a Verd, which, oh, that's fusible. Yeah, no, that's good. And then one light dark unit that is also a secret dungeon, which will be Bella once I find it. Bella, there you go. All right. So free to play, fusible monsters, one 3-star, one light dark 3-star. Let's see how it works. So this is the team that I used when I first started doing dragons. Like most of the teams I'm going to show for beginner teams, it's not the fastest team, but consistency is key. So you want something that can heal, which is your Bella, defense break, which is your Bella, can give you attack bar, which is your Verti heal, can give you cleanse, which is your Veramos, and attack bar and attack buff is from your Bella, or from your Megan, as well as clearing off that immunity that the dragon pops up every once in a while, which is pretty annoying, but let's see how well this does. And then if you want, I can show you the runes afterwards. I think I've shown the runes for most of these. It's not an issue to show them. I think they're Verti heals on Violent, Veramos is on Violent, Bella's on Violent. So there's just big damage is what you're looking for with your Sigmaris, and I think I've got mine on a Swift build, and it's still extremely slow because I just used it because I had no speed. So I ended up putting my bird there on Swift with attack, crit damage, and attack, and I think it's got 36 speed added onto it, which is that's more than enough for right now. But yeah, so as you can see, you've got some dots which will probably be cleansed off afterwards, but that's not a big issue. But you can get a bit of extra damage on them. In case you missed any of my other videos previously, every dot is roughly 5% of the HP of the dragon, so that's going to help with dropping that health lower. The big things are, once that dragon gets below that 20%, he's going to be able to deal a lot more damage, and then if you have dots on you, it's also going to deal more damage. So that's why that Veramos is a very important thing, because every time that Veramos gets a turn, it's going to cleanse one debuff off each unit. So we're going to take a look at this again, see if we can get something useful here. Meh. Alright, so let's see it again. Now, if you're a newer account, obviously your important things are you want to build your fusion units. I just I just fused another Verti-heal. Took me a couple days. It's not that difficult. The Veramos is probably one of the first ones you're going to be fusing. It's useful in dang near everywhere. You can use it in giants. It puts dots out. Does cleansing for the debuffs, or for the defense breaks, I should say. In dragons, it's going to clear off those continuous damage put on during the boss battle, as well as put dots on, and it also stuns in the waves, which is really going to help you out if that's something that you're kind of looking for, is getting through those dragons for the first time. I'll show you my normal team afterwards. It's kind of where you can progress to if you want to go a bit quicker. But yeah, so the runes you're looking for out of dragons are going to be most likely your violent sets is going to be your priority. So violent sets, if you've ever played an arena against somebody with violent, it always kicks you right in the ass when you don't want it to. But yeah, so your violent sets, your revenge sets aren't bad depending on who you feel like putting them on. but it's also those. It's mainly those violent sets, and those violent sets are going to help you progress it to getting into Necro B10 because you can have that chance to do extra hits. Which, if you know anything about Necro, you have to do 7 hits before you can break the boss's shield before you can even do damage to him. So you're going to be looking for those bigger sets of violent so that you can get those extra hits in and knock them down a bit quicker. So once this is done, I'll show you the runes on some of these guys, and then I will show you the team I currently use, and hopefully we can get something useful to show you rune wise. But another thing is Bella does have a strip with her second skill, which is kind of helpful as well. So you've got 2 strips, you've got uh, single debuff cleanse, attack power, defense power. Don't need that. All right. So let's show you some runes here. You're not like with my teams. I only use this Vertiheal in dungeons, so he's only used in dragons. That's it. I don't use him for anything else, just dragons. So you want 100% crit rate, so you're always getting that attack bar boost. Your speed, there's 2 ways to go about it. You can have your speed slightly slower than everybody on your team so that you get that second turn quicker. Or, and you'll see in my next team that I show you, I use him first to get all my attackers higher up quicker so that they can have like an attack crit damage attack so they don't have near as much speed. Vermos, once again, it's just like an HP, yeah. All 5-star runes, nothing outrageous. The Megan here, which I just got rid of, is kinda quick-ish? No, not really. So once again, there's minimal stats on her, right? And it's probably a speed, maybe HP. Oh, defense, HP. Nope, attack, right? So you've got tons of ways you can build these things. She's not designed for anything else. I just used her for this when I first started, and I've never looked back, and I've never put new runes on her. I've never changed anything with her. Um, Once again, my Bella is Violent Revenge, so only sets you're going to get from dragons. And I don't know if I've tinkered around. Speed, probably HP, and then probably accuracy. Yeah. So nothing outrageous. Those are kind of some okay runes. That one's not bad. Could use some other grinds, but that's once again down the road for beginner players looking at grinds and stuff like that. You got to remember if it's a speed grind, the max it can be is 5. So if you see something with a speed grind, it's probably 2 or 3 extra speed. Here's that Sigmaris I was telling you about. I went all as much attack, as much crit rate, and as much crit damage as I could get when I first built. So with my account, the only time I ruin monsters is when I first get them, and aside from that, I haven't touched them since then. I've never done a re-ruining session on my account, which I might do on our stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/carbon_nights. I will be doing probably some account stuff for Poseidon on there. I'll be doing some for Battle Beast. And I think next week, if we're lucky, we might get to do some of Poseidon's summons. So hopefully pull him in Nat 5 and then try and hide it on him if we can. Yeah, so that's my beginner team. If you're newer to the game, your first time running a Dragons team, get that beginner team out there and see what it can do for you and where you need to make those changes. As for my current team that I normally run, this could take me a sec to actually find. It's kind of the same idea. It's designed to go faster and be more reliable, in my opinion. It is the twins. The twins are always going to be probably one of your fastest options. Now, the reason I use this team, and I'll get it going as I explain, is, oh, I put the wrong person in there. It needs Shayna instead of the fire boomerang chick. So anyways, I can end this. It won't pass. But the reason I use this team is it's got attack break, it's got stuns. No, it doesn't have stuns. It's got attack bar reduction, which is the big thing for me. Is attack bar reduction and the dark boomerang warrior Martina steals buffs. So like you can see, no speed. My Vertiheal is actually the first unit to move on this team, and his job is to bring everybody else up so that they can reduce attack bars, and then just kind of pick everybody off one by one. So as you watch this, you'll notice that the Shayna is going to go first, followed up by both of, well, Vertiheal, then Kali to get the attack buff and the speed buff. So now by the time anything happens, my Vertiheal's bringing everybody up for a second round. So I get Vertiheal brings everybody, everybody attacks, and then Vertiheal brings everybody again. And if he gets a violent proc, because he is on violent, then everybody just kind of clears the waves. And it works out really, really well. Um, Obviously, this is a team that you're probably not going to have as a beginner, but it is kind of something to work towards. You'll see tons of different Dragons teams. A lot of them work. Tark, the water hellhound, used to be a huge, huge component in Dragons because he brings somebody else with him and reduces their cooldown times, which is great. If you have a Tark, you don't have some of these other monsters, Tark's going to help. Big damage, single target damage, big damage, and he can bring somebody else with him. Um, at the end of the day, though, what you're looking for is the same as you were looking for in Giants. You're looking for that consistency. You're looking for a team that's going to be able to beat this dungeon a lot more often than it's going to fail. So you're looking for like a 90, 95% clear rate. This team's about 95%-ish. There's a couple times where it'll fail twice in a row, but aside from that, it's pretty good. Um, Hopefully they'll get the immunity. No, no immunity. So I was hoping to show off Martina there to steal the immunity, and then have Shayna reduce the attack bar in the same turn, which is a really neat thing to have. Let's see. All right, I'll run it one more time here. Then we'll go through the runes that I have on my twins and stuff, just so you can see that, like everybody says, speed is everything. Speed is everything. Speed's important in Arena or RTA, and if you're a beginner player, it's not that important. You can get through dang near anything. You can get through the Trial of Ascension with minimal speed as long as you have somebody that brings your attack bar up. And a fusible monster like Vertiheal is going to do that, and he's super easy to build. If you put him on anything, as long as he has a 100% crit rate, he's always going to be bringing that attack bar up for your team. Um, and once again, it's you're going to get these builds. You're going to see what you want to do with them, and you're going to adjust them as you see fit. I used to have another. What did I have? I had another Chakram Dancer in place of Kali. It wasn't as successful. I tried putting Megan an attack bar booster in there with an attack buff, and it wasn't as successful. Kali's little bit of a speed buff really, really helped me out. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Anything else you guys want to see, leave it in the comments. I can try and do a bit of Necro stuff next week or in a couple weeks or whatever, but Necro really isn't kind of a beginner thing. I can do a few other things. Just give me some ideas that you guys might want to see, and I will do my best to make sure that I show it as best I can. And once again, I'm not a great player. I'm not claiming to be a great player. I haven't been doing this all my life, whatever. But it is for me. It's something fun, and it's fun to help other people out. So I already showed you my Vertiheal. He's at plus 63 speed, let's say. So my Shayna, once again, is going to be attack, crit damage, and attack. And not very much speed. Who's next? Kali. Kali's got a little bit more speed, goes right after my Vertiheal does. So it's going to be attack, crit damage, and attack. Apparently I didn't have 6-star runes. Once again, you don't need to have 6-star runes to make them usable monsters. This is a monster that you will see in other YouTubers in their Dragons runs. And they'll use them, I've seen it used in RTA, high level RTA, when I was watching some Twitch the other day. It's a monster that's used constantly and it doesn't need the greatest runes. Sabrina, bet you it's attack, crit damage, and attack. Right? They're easy builds to get as long as you're not overly picky. I do have them all on violent because I use them in Necro as well, so I want that extra that extra turn every once in a while, and none of them are skilled up. Shayna might be a little bit, but that's only because of an event we had a couple months ago. And once again, low speed, moderate crit rate, but if you use Vertiheal's speed leader skill, that's increasing your speed by 28%, and that's of your base speed. So it doesn't add in both what you have and the base to bring it up. It's just your base speed that it affects. But attack, crit damage, surprise, attack. So teams that you can look for are that consistency, slightly tanky, a cleanser, an attack buff, attack bar manipulation. So if you can get somebody that decreases attack bar, like Shayna with her passive, every time she hits, she has the chance to reduce the attack bar by 15%. She also defense breaks. Really good unit to have. Whereas if you're looking at like a Vertiheal, he's going to bring your attack bar up. She's going to lower the enemy's attack bar. You're going to get that chance to kind of cycle turns. And the less you get hit, the more successful you're going to be. Well, aside from that, once again, any questions, feel free to drop them off. See if I have a couple scrolls here. I do have I do have a second account that is on the Europe server. I have only been tinkering around with it for a little while, quite a while actually. But I don't do anything with it. It's a level 28 account. So if you have any questions or if you want me to start using that account to kind of show you how to progress through certain areas with certain monsters, I will do my best. I actually just recently pulled a Feng Yan on that account, and I also have a Chow and a Samath. I'll try not to use them, and I can build up some other teams just to show you that at a lower level you can still achieve these goals that I'm trying to explain to you. So let's do 4 quick summons. If we get anything noteworthy, I'll rub it in somebody's face, probably Poseidon's. It's a lot more fun to show off to him than it is to anybody else. All right, nothing there. And I'm going to keep that light dark piece. I'll do another summoning session for myself sometime down the road. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today, Knights. But once again, let me know what you guys want to see. I'm more than willing to do pretty much anything you ask, as long as I have the resources or the monsters to do it. And just let me know. Aside from that, I will see you guys next time. And remember, keep those shields up. Well, Knights, you made it all the way to the end. You know what that means. You've won the chance to watch another one of our videos, or perhaps even subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.